morning all. Today is July the 15th, and it's a monthly board meeting of the Pasco County Mosquito Control. And Randy's going to lead us in Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Commissioners, all commissioners present, go ahead.
Evans here.
Fox here. See you, everything's working there. Abbott here?
Cox is here.
Okay, that's perfect, yeah.
Executive Director Rogers present.
Okay. Good. Well, I'd like to make an opening statement today here before we get underway on the regular agenda. That's the first thing. Well, first thing probably really important is let you know that Gower's Corner, the surplus property land is now listed and it's currently being marketed. So we have had some interested parties, so some good progress there. Next thing I want to do is reaffirm or relook at what our mission statement is here. Some of this I'll read through because I don't have it memorized. But the mission of the Pasco Mosquito Control District is to protect the health and well-being of all Pasco County residents by controlling mosquitoes and reducing the risk of mosquito-borne diseases. Our vision reflects integrity, transparency, and commitment to environmental stewardships, including the Clean Water Act. And I'm proud to say that's what we've been delivering for years, in fact, since 1951 now. In the last few years, we've had some tremendous operational improvements. We've expanded, we've modernized our surveillance systems, we've enhanced our control methods, adopted new innovative tools like sterile insect technology. We build efficiencies in every part of our operations, streamlining process, investing in advanced technology, maximizing the impact of resources. We've also made it a priority to increase public awareness and transparency. We do have one of our community interface ladies here today, Maria, and then we also work well in the school system. Schedule tours of the facility here to any and all interested. We have presentations throughout the community on a regular basis. I say we, a few of the folks in here created Pasco One Health Alliance, which met this week and has really taken off and doing well with the community. Modernized our website and our community system works. We work to ensure the residents can now understand how mosquito control works, how decisions are made, and how we prioritize health and safety through science. Looking forward, this is a time of continued progress with the middle of hurricane season right here, right now. And you know, we're at peak right now, but fortunately we are well prepared for that. So let's keep our eyes on the mission, stay focused on public service, continue to elevate this agency to not only a state but a national model of excellence. So, in a nutshell, we're here to protect public health. That's the number one goal, and this is part of our statement that's on our website that I remind that we worked together to put out a comprehensive report on that website for everybody to see. We also provide this service in an efficient manner. And again, as last year, it's my goal to see here over the next few sessions that we once again reduce our millage rate as we did last year. So with that, I will look for a motion to approve the agenda.
Motion to approve?
If I may,
Yep.
Chairman, I'd like to remove item C from the agenda under new business. I'm not yet ready to present the information.
Okay. So done.
Motion to approve agenda as amended?
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item, we have look for a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Motion to approve?
All in favor?
Aye.
And I realized on roll call, I forgot to introduce Laura Donaldson to our attorney. Say good morning, Laura.
She just came on.
Just came on, okay. Can you hear us, Laura? I don't believe she can. Laura, can you hear us? Morning, Laura.
Mr. Chairman, I'm having trouble hearing y'all.
Okay.
Project your voice.
Where's the mic?
Right there behind you.
Okay. Laura, can you hear us?
I can.
Okay, great.
Yeah, it's better now, thank you.
Uh-huh. All right. Okay, we have a record sign-up list this morning of public comments, so that's great. And first one, Alan Rose, can you state your address and the group that you represent?
Alan Rose, 10221 Hilltop Drive, Newport Richey, Florida, 34654, representing Pasco Coastal Improvement Council. And this morning, I just wanted to bring forward a few issues. I know the mission and I know how well you guys do. There are things that sometimes escape us. One issue that I've dealt with mosquito control, I know we like to use the mosquito fish. I have had really better experience using blue tilapia. And blue tilapia don't require a permit like you have to get with other types of stock. For your deeper and larger ponds that we need to watch control on, I highly recommend blue tilapia. It really makes a big difference.
What is it? I'm sorry?
Blue tilapia.
Blue tilapia.
They do multiple issues, whether mosquito fish, strictly mosquitoes, blue tilapia also control unwanted vegetation. They keep the ponds clean, they keep the top clean, and they keep the mosquitoes gone. And they're great for eating when they get larger. So anyway, that was one issue. Just wanted to bring it forward.
Yeah.
Just sharing some insights, because I've actually done that and I've seen that work. It's quite nice. The spray areas. A lot of the spray areas in the areas of mosquito control overlie so many of our impaired water basins. And a lot of people don't realize that we have those impaired water basins. We have, in our section of Pasco County, we have 8 impaired water basins. Arapika, Hudson, Bear Creek, Salt Springs, Pitlahuchi, Green Key, Gulf Harbors, and Anglo River. They're all impaired. They're all slower moving water. Could be fixed. We can work with stormwater management, different areas to help make this water move better. Part of our big thing is working on the waterways, and we want to increase the flow and get the flow better, and that will help with mosquito control. So if we could ever work together with stormwater and mosquito control, we can work on this. It's something, another issue. Just want to bring forward because you might not be so familiar with that, because it's my specialty.
Okay.
All right, and the other thing we have is all of this land that's being developed. Who's approving this development? We have over 3,000 acres of wetlands being developed. You know what happens once we start doing, in that term, 3,000 plus acres developing wetlands. What's that going to do to your mosquito control? Who's approving all these sales of these wetlands? I don't know, but and if it's not developed properly, and we've already seen it. We've seen it at Rock Sink, we've seen it at Green Key, we've seen it at Lost Lake, and most recently they're trying to do something over at right up there at Ridge Road and Tanglewood. So anyway, if they develop these areas, it's going to affect our water flows and our waterways. And that's definitely going to negatively affect your mosquito control and put pressure on you. And you'll have more pressure to and the mosquitoes will be really bad, especially right now. You can go out and drive through these areas, and you can see, because we've had the rains and the wetlands, you can see the water sitting there and not moving, and you know what that does for mosquito control. And that's pretty much it. Just want to bring these things forward. We can work with you. We're a young organization just starting, and we're trying to work on our waterways, cleaning things up, getting things so they function better. We're going to be offshore, doing some things offshore with the feds. We're trying to make that work, bring the shore drift, and open up all of our coastals, like Bear Creek, and all the different bayous and rivers that flow out that are blocked up right now because they haven't had flow. And this has been a 60-plus year development. When they hardened Pearl Harbors and they hardened Hudson, it stagnated our longshore drift, and it caused the sedimentation and blockage of all our coastal waterways, so nothing flows out. And from inland, from 589 out to the coast, that's going to be our focus, where we want to improve that flow, and that will help mosquito control. That's today.
Yeah, well, thank you. And it's nice, I know you shared with me you had retired and from the Coast Guard. It's nice for you to do some service. I'm a member of Coastal Conservation and also Spring Association, so be interested to talk to you more about Pasco side of it all.
Absolutely.
Do you solely work in Pasco then?
Yes.
Hence the name?
Yes.
So are you a nonprofit or?
Yes, we are a nonprofit.
Okay. And about how many people do you have that are members or?
We're a small group. I've got a group of 4 of us that are the base. I've got about 150 others, but just the base is 4. There's 4 of us with the kind of knowledge that I have, years and years of waterways experience. We wanted to get this established, and then we will actively bring more people on, which is where we're approaching now, because we've gotten our base in place of the knowledge that we need to make things, to bring forward information like this to you and to other organizations, so we can all work together, because there are issues with the waterways, and it affects mosquito control in a huge way. So anything we can do to help, you've got my information.
Well, I appreciate it. As a fellow Coast Guard retiree, I appreciate you coming.
Thank you.
Appreciate your service.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I truly enjoyed the comments of the gentleman that just spoke and appreciate the positive input. I would like to see either our executive director or operations person maybe have a more expanded conversation regarding some of the things that he brought up. I think they're very constructive.
Okay. We'll do that. Thank you, Captain. All right, next up we've got Janine Duffy of Holiday.
Yes, my address is 5550 Front Drive, Holiday, Florida.
Okay.
I'm just here to hear about the slander lawsuit that's coming and the motion for that. I do, of course, believe that's a complete waste of taxpayer money. But I also wanted to mention, I do a lot of yard work, and I'm not seeing any bees anywhere this year specifically. My mom plants a lot of really beautiful flowers that attract bees, and they're not. There's none. And so I was hoping that since you're working with other organizations, that maybe somehow you guys could support the bee population. I don't know if the chemicals are doing any damage, but I'm seeing a serious decline. I mean, there's no bees in my yard, and it scares me. It makes me a little nervous. So, because without bees, we don't have food. So I'd really like to see whether it's through donations to a reputable organization that makes sure that we have bees and keeps them alive. I really, truly would like to see some sort of correlation between mosquito control and our bee population. And seriously, I'm only here because I have seen a serious decline just in my own yard. So I hope you consider it at this time. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We do very aware of the bees. We do work with the University of Florida, and I'd encourage you to go to bee school. There's a whole program up there set up for the citizens in Florida, and it's really a great program.
I'm thinking more on the county level.
Oh, we bring it back to the county level. Yeah.
Bringing what fees back to?
The University of Florida works all across the state on this program.
Could have a liaison here. Did you?
Yeah.
It's really impressive.
Good program.
Well,
So,
there's
hit their
definitely a
website, sign up
decline.
for bee
I'll
school.
reach out to them specifically
Yeah.
too, but, and see what they have to say about the situation,
Okay.
for sure. But please consider, being concerned about the lack of bees.
Well, they are doing something else. They're putting in a system that's gonna alert people that you're coming to spray in the area. So beekeepers
heard
can,
about that.
that's gonna be a huge thing, I
I
think, for
heard
the
about that.
beekeepers.
I did hear about that through the social media.
Okay. Next up, we've got Kathy Julian. I think you represent Pasco Watch today? or you
I'm just here as
represent yourself?
myself.
Oh, you represent yourself?
Yeah. I
Okay.
mean,
go
Pasco
ahead.
Watch is a corporation, and now it's PC, but,
It's a what?
a political committee as well.
Oh, okay.
So, one of the first local ones in the county.
I see.
So whatever. I finally got the draft of the budget for next year. And just looking through it, looking through the expenditures. I don't know why it's such a hard thing for me to get this. I mean, yesterday they sent me last month's stuff, which wasn't what I asked for. I asked for this month's stuff, so then I had to re-request it, and I got it. I guess I'm assuming that was just an error. I wouldn't think that that would be anything malicious. But looking through this budget, I see there's $7 million. Is that what you're planning on spending for the new campus? $7 million. So the budget is still gonna be over $20,000 for next year. That just seems pretty excessive to me. I do like your comments about cutting the millage rate again. I think it should be very substantial this year because you've got a lot of money that was put away to build the new building that's not, or the new campus that's not gonna happen. So I think you really need to look at sharpening your pencil and cutting more in the range of 40%, 50% off of your millage rate. Just to kind of take down those reserves a little bit. The other thing that I noticed going back through the report from the audit last month is, and I'm not sure exactly what these numbers represent, but I'm just talking from the audit report. In 2020, you had 33 employees, and in 2024, you had 47 employees, I believe. That's like a 40% increase in employees. I don't know if that's because people were recategorized and they made it to the audit report when they hadn't in the past. I don't know if that's just full-time employees, because I know you have quite a few more employees on your list of employees by position than 47. So I'm assuming that's just full-time people. I think it was related to the retirement plan, so I assume that's full-time people. I don't know how that all works. But it is distressing as a taxpayer that you're having a 40% increase in employees in 2 years. I mean, I could see if it was an organization that was expanding, like you had 5 new sites, but you don't. We still have the same amount of ground footage. I understand you say that, it takes more people and more resources to treat different types of terrain, but it's still the same amount of terrain. And the other thing that was kind of distressing to me was when you posted the video about the mosquitoes, like a couple days after the 4th of July holiday. It was pointed out to me by quite a few people that saw the video that those were mosquitoes that had basically been raised over the 4th of July holiday. I do know there are some other mosquito controls in the state and in the area that take all their holidays in one block at Christmas. They don't take Juneteenth, they don't take 4th of July. It appears they work 7 days a week. I'm not saying every employee works 7 days a week, but they do. And I don't know if that might be something we should consider here. Taking days off is detrimental to the population that you say you're trying to protect.
All right.
So anyway,
Thank
I'm
you very
rambling and
much.
I'll shut up.
Yeah. All righty, next up, we've got John Cutler.
Where's the microphone? I want to...
It's right above you there.
All right, yeah, for the stand. My name is John Cub. I retired on my birthday in April. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning, Agda, best supervisor I ever had. Finally, I get to talk, because I retired. I can say anything I want. I am gonna personally attack you because of the crap that you spew out.
And that's fine. It does say in your minutes, though, that you, well, I guess it says you don't
No, actually,
attack.
John has the floor right now.
Yeah, but it says they don't
No,
attack.
John has the floor
Okay,
right now.
that's fine. I'm fine.
I will
Go
be
for it.
here every month for the meetings.
We'll see it. I will
Oh,
see
yeah.
it. Good.
We are everyone is laughing at you, not with you.
That's great.
Amazing. And you guys attack Adrian.
I am not attacking Adrian, I'm attacking Tony.
In 21 years here, Adrian's the best supervisor, director we had. We had Dennis Moore before, he was good, but one hand was tied behind his back because of, what's his name, Gary Joyner. He had it out for him so badly. But Adrian, you may not know this stuff, but she runs such a tight ship that we get notified by her supervisor, which I've had happen to me if our truck is idling too long. She doesn't want to waste gas. We have to sign out for pens, anything we take, we have to sign out before, for that stuff. We never had to do that before. Kind of a running joke is that there's serial numbers on the paper towels and the toilet paper. So no, Adrian, you gotta be kidding me. There's times the last 2 years I've gone every week to see a buddy of mine at Wesley Chapel. When I come back, there's sometimes at 8 o'clock at night, I'll drive by and I'll see her light still on in the office. I thought, give me a break, go home already. So, no, Adrian is the best here. I know you're always gonna find something, you guys gotta get a hobby or something. Do gardening or you know what, make coffins or something, that might be good for you. Yeah, I was at your meeting over a year ago.
I remember you being there, I didn't know
Oh,
who you
yeah.
were. I didn't know who you were,
Yeah.
yeah. That's okay. We
And I-
let people come in.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you didn't know it was me because you were talking about mosquito control and Adrian's salary. What is
It's
wrong with you?
excessive.
No, it's not. Maybe this is northern thinking. All right, let me talk. Maybe this is northern thinking, but you have to pay for someone's education and experience. I don't know if you know that or not, but that's how it is. Oh my God, she was an entomologist for the state of Florida. I know that's nothing to you. You gotta get a hobby. Your whole group has to get a hobby. But all this, how you haven't, but I think that something was said about slander, how you haven't been sued for the things that you say here and you put on your website? Jesus. And I know she has no way to fight back or anything, but that's ridiculous. So I'm gonna be here, I give you my word, I'm gonna be here every month.
And you know where I work? Come by and visit me.
Believe me, I won't be doing that. Shame on you for doing the things that you do. You're hurting Pasco.
Okay.
I've got so many things to say in this booklet. That's why I can't say them now, but I'm gonna be here every month. Let me know when my time is.
It's
Yep.
not time. Time is up.
All right,
Time just
sorry
expired.
about
Thank you,
that,
John.
but I'm going to get a much needed haircut. But I'll see you guys next month.
Okay.
You can watch the video.
Okay, then. Right. Next item is on business is employee of the quarter. Do we have anything?
Unfortunately, our All-Star employee could not make it to today's meeting, so I am going to ask that we table the presentation of the award to him until the August meeting.
Okay. Very good. You hearing this okay, Michael, Laura?
Yeah, I'm good.
I can hear you.
Okay, great. All right, next on the agenda, Michael Cox, you've got this one, social media.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate you allowing me to chat about this today. I want to start my comments by saying how truly I support and have been an advocate during all my years of public service for the public's right for information and transparency. The district today is probably 10, 15 times more transparent than it has been in the past by the amount of information that we put out online, included in the board packets. It's much more robust than it has been in the past. And I think that we should actually expand on that as much as we possibly can. I appreciate your opening comments, Mr. Chairman. The importance of the work that we do and all the good things that we do in the community every year and every day. We need to make that more visible to the public. And one of the things I would like to see us do is go ahead and continue the video recording of our meetings. I know in the past, if we've just mainly done audio recordings, but I think that we should continue to do the video recordings, and immediately after our meetings, I would like to see that video posted on our social media platforms and also online. I just think that we need to do that, and we need to also find other opportunities to continue to put out information that the public needs in order to be able to judge our performance and the things that we're doing. So that's one thing I would like for the board to consider to take action on. I will say that I also have some concerns about some of the online cyberbullying that I'm seeing come out. There have been some pretty horrible posts that have been put out there on social media. And quite frankly, I have a concern for our executive director and her family's safety. When you see a post out there of a Grim Reaper that has been drawn over a likeness of our executive director, that's a threat. And it's uncalled for. I mean, look at all of the shootings and the violence that has happened in our country. It just escalates every day. And quite frankly, I feel like as a board, we have an obligation to try to protect our employees to the best of our ability. There have been multiple posts that, in my mind, have crossed the line. When you post derogatory comments with a picture of a 6-year-old girl online with her mother, that's crossed the line. And I just believe that we need to address this. I don't want to be sitting in that room addressing a situation after something has happened. The problem with social media is you don't know who's seeing it. And there's crazy people out there that do crazy things. And I'm not saying the people that are potentially posting it are the problem. My concern is the people that we don't know about. I mean, one recent shooting it happened from an individual who'd never really posted anything online, had no criminal background, completely off the radar, and yet the individual goes out and does a shooting. So I just feel like we need to make a concerted effort to try to bring down this vitriol that we are seeing out there online. And we've tried to do it from a very positive standpoint, but the individuals who are doing it, they don't care. They just have some axe to grind. They don't care how efficient the district is running or the level of talent that we have in the district. They just appear like they just want to constantly bring up negative and harassing things. And quite frankly, I just think it's wrong. And I think we have an obligation to our employees to try to do something about it. So what I'm going to ask is that we have our attorney, Laura Donaldson, review, investigate and potentially take appropriate action regarding some of these concerns. And whether that's talking to law enforcement or some other appropriate action, I think that we really need to be proactive about this. I don't want to be reactive about it. I don't want to be standing at a podium talking about something terrible that has happened. I think if that happens, we want to be able to say that we were proactive and tried to do something about it.
I concur.
I agree with you. First of all, on the meetings, yes, I think going forward that our meetings will be posted on our website only, no social media. There's truly a single source of information for the citizens of Pasco, and that's pascomosquito.org, and that's where our information should lie. As far as the safety of our employees, absolutely, I think we need to work through Laura to understand what actions are appropriate and do that. So I do believe that you have agreement amongst everybody here.
At least on our website with all this AI garbage going on, I don't want someone tweaking what we're saying, and I don't know if that's even possible. I'm sure it is. I'm sure they could even tap into our current website and do something, but yeah, I do agree publishing that. That way you're getting it straight from the horse's mouth and not some back alley.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I would like to see us, not just put it on our website, but proactively put a link out on our Facebook, Instagram, wherever we have social media, to invite people to come and look at it.
Well, our
I just think that's
our
that's
IT
a good
guy,
thing
IT guy is right here. How do you ensure once it hits social media that it's valid any longer?
I'm sorry, there's a question.
We're talking about a link.
Sending out
Commissioner Cox is talking about a link to our meeting, putting it on Bookface. How,
So we would.
is that safe? Is that something you can do, or
Yeah,
that
yeah,
we should do?
Yeah, we can definitely post links to that from the central point and just, for like example, YouTube or something like that as a source that we can store all those videos.
You might have to speak up some, but
Yeah.
don't they hijack Bookface sites?
It can be hijacked, but most of that stuff is archived, and all of it's archived, anyways, to our current platform, so even if it did get compromised, we can still restore those videos.
Isn't there sites better than Meta?
Sorry?
Isn't there better sites than using Meta?
I would have to look and see. I mean, that's typically been the standard practice for most, even the county, I believe, uses that, so.
And if we're just putting a link on Facebook or Instagram, that brings you back to whatever the central hub is that we're actually storing the videos, if it's YouTube or not. If it's not actually putting the video directly through Facebook, it would be too long for Facebook to post just the video directly.
No,
So
okay.
a link back to the YouTube channel or whatever it is that, or
Could
to
you-
a website where the links are. I mean, we can explore options on how.
Can't
to
you do it
that.
on multiple platforms though? I've seen anyway, I'm not very tech savvy,
You
but
can
where
post-
you can send out a video and you can spread it out on Instagram and Twitter and do
There
all that to
are
where
various ways that we
Sure.
can put it out through.
Where you can cast a wide
the
net instead
variety
of
different social
just the old
channels.
farts like me that
Yes.
watch Facebook or whatever.
You have a lot of good company there, Randy.
Thank you,
I'm a
sir.
YouTube junkie. I have to admit, I'm trying to get some therapy on it, but yeah, I just love YouTube. So, Laura, would you like these in the form of motions?
Yes, I would say as it relates to putting things and using social media better or in ways to get more information about like the government side. You don't need a motion on that, but I would like a motion about taking appropriate action. And just so the board knows, as public officials, there's higher standards for different things, but some of it goes on actual malice. Cyberbullying has their own requirements. So we'll be looking into all of that and contacting local law enforcement. My goal would be really, it's not the free speech, right? There are standards related to free speech. I don't think that's what Commissioner Cox is asking for. It is threats against the executive director or other staff is really what my focus is going to be. And so I just want to make sure that everyone, this is not an attempt to at all defer free speech. It really is the threatening side of things is what we'll be looking into. And so I will be, if this motion is approved, we'll be reaching out to law enforcement to talk to them and show them some of the things that have occurred.
Yeah, that's exactly what attempting to address here. And it's strictly from a safety standpoint of our employees. And it's not just our executive director and her family, although that seems to be, the focus of several individuals. But I mean, who's to say that? I mean, we have highly visible assets that are in the field every day, and who's to say that some nut is not influenced by some of this cyberbullying and does something crazy to one of our trucks, or helicopters, or whatever the case may be? We can't let this go unaddressed. So I will move that we direct our attorney, Laura Donaldson, to review, investigate, take appropriate actions regarding these cyberbullying threats to our employees, and including discussions with law enforcement.
Perfect, thank you.
Yes, I agree. Are we just limiting it to the employees and families for the
Yes.
Pasco County Mosquito Control District? Or do we need different verbiage? We're all in this room employees that are, with the exception of a few civilians.
Well, what are you?
I think I take it that it includes commissioners, if any commissioners have had any threats. I haven't had conversations with you about that, but I mean, it's just in general.
We are employees, so that, I felt included, but I mean, just, so Pasco County Mosquito Control District employees, family members, should it just stop right there, or do we need to add any other verbiage?
Or any other cyberbullying threats against the district. We can just do it that way, and I think that will capture everything.
Okay,
That's the motion.
very well, I'll second
Okay,
that.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion
Aye.
carries unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Good.
Uh-huh.
Thank you
Thank you
for
for
bringing it up.
doing something that's been necessary for a while now. All right. Next on the agenda is reviewing the budget draft for next fiscal year, and I'll let you lead that discussion, Adrian.
All right, thank you, Chairman. You all received the second draft of the 2025-2026 fiscal year budget. Just as another reminder, again, I will say that we have until September to finalize this, and we'll continue to gather information and refine these numbers as we get closer to the budget hearings in September. One thing that I will point out is that the total taxable value reported from the property appraiser's office back in June, it turns out the July filing was actually less than the estimate that we received the prior month, so you do see that total ad valorem rate reduced. It was $59.6 billion to $57.3 billion. Again, this is the total taxable value for all of Pasco County. And then the millage rate that you have in the draft that was presented to you is our current millage rate at 0.2242. And so you do see a reduction based on that total taxable value going down from the property appraiser's office. And numerous items were also adjusted in if you're comparing the two versions. We've made the updates that you all requested to the actual budget document itself to include last year's budgeted number, current fiscal year's budgeted numbers, 24-25 fiscal year, as well as the year-to-date spending. And then the change also requested last meeting reflecting the change in the direct versus indirect positions. With that, I will take any questions.
Mr.
on
Chairman?
Specific items.
Yes. Commissioner Cox, go ahead.
I have a question. So Adrian, or Jose, what was the taxable value in Pasco for last year? I'm sorry that I don't remember what that was.
Give me a moment and I can get you that number. The total taxable value for the 24-25 fiscal year was $54,317,042,526.
And it's projected to be what this year again?
$57 billion, 316 million.
Yes, I can give you the exact figure, just a moment. $57,316,577,817.
Okay, thank you.
And you said it was 54,317 million?
Hold on, I just closed it. Let me go back. 54317042526.
Thank you.
Well, maybe we just go through sections of it here, and as we have comments, questions. First one, items through 20.0, 10 through 20. Just as a discussion right now, looking at we put towards an agreement on the COLA rate for next year of 2% and the performance at 1.4%. So that's my thoughts on next year's budget. And again, we're at a draft stage right now, so that's not in any way a motion or anything, but certainly where my head is on this. Okay. Up on 44, budget item 44.0. I know we've touched on it, but I don't think we have the results back yet, so I'm going to ask it to be a priority on the aerial insurance, that we dig deeper into this. Adrian, Jose, who's the most appropriate person on this?
So we are looking into this, as you have recommended, of course, this and all of our insurance. We have not yet received the proposed rates for the upcoming year, but that's all part of the discussion and the negotiations.
Okay. Well, the big nut, as we know, is this aerial piece, so I'd really like to see us get a sample rate of the other folks across the state that have similar coverage to ours and see if we're, I mean, I know we've looked at it in the past, but every couple of years, we should relook at this and see where we land, and that's a good term, isn't it? Yeah, see where we land. And make sure that both were well covered, but also move up our deductibles or whatever it is we have to do to try to see any cost savings there. Okay. Any comments on items up through 40.0? Commissioners? All right, we'll move on to item 50 with these small font sizes here. So I realize we've moved to hybrid vehicles, and we're moving further into hybrid vehicles, so I would expect that this gas allowance will be re-looked at and hopefully brought down for this next year. How much of our fleet will be hybrid going forward?
Currently, we have 12 hybrid Mavericks in service. We just working, well, excuse me,
Might talk up a little bit, just-
we're working on the 12th Maverick hybrid coming into service now as the 10th ULV truck conversion. And so those are the only ones that we have in our fleet as of today. The number that you see here reflects our, it's a combination of our usage mileage over the last year, expecting, that conversion of the ULV fleet. However, there are additional vehicles that offset that. So the actual, you're talking about the dollar amount for the fuel or the
Yeah, the
mileage?
automotive gasoline, we're at 81,000.
Right, so that mileage, that is appropriate based on the last year's worth of operational use with those modifications already considered, yes.
Okay, but we're adding more hybrids to the fleet, so
We will, however, there's quite a significant lead time on actually
Yes, sir.
getting vehicles when you order them. One of the more recent vehicles, I think we're at 7 or 8 months from the time we place the order, and we can't place an order until we have the budget finalized, which is September. And so, we'll be operating with the fleet we have until any of those newer vehicles, if they are approved in this budget, get purchased and actually arrive and put into service.
okay.
Now, understanding that these hybrids are under warranty, have there been problems with them? Where you've had to send it back to the dealer?
We have not had any significant issues with the Mavericks that we have in service yet. Two of them are, I think we're a little over, over a year in operation with a couple of them. Oh, actually, there are 2 additional. The surveillance trucks are also covered,
Minus
so
2024,
we're at 14, I think. Yeah, so we do have, some of them have been in service now for well over a year. The other ones really just came online over the last couple of months. We've been converting the ULV fleet, the remaining of the last 10. And so we have not had any significant issues with them yet.
So the ones that are converted to the ULV fleet, will they, ULV actually fit in the bed of them?
Oh, yeah, it fits quite nice to hang out after the meeting and we can show you
Yeah,
the
yeah.
conversion of the fleet. We're just, like I said, the 10th one is, they were finalizing. So that's not only conversion of the physical truck itself, moving from the F-150s with the modified bed that we fabricate in-house, but so moving the truck itself to a Maverick, but also that's conversion of the spray system as well, so going from the gasoline powered to the electric units.
Yeah, my son-in-law, I told him about it, he went and bought one. Good.
How is the battery operated spray systems working? Any feedback on those?
Yeah, they're working quite well. like I said, we're just equipping the 10th truck to do that. You know, we formerly had 8 gasoline-powered UL-based spray trucks, so we're switching that over. We've also added a couple of new products as we're making that conversion. So, you know, we've had several different modifications to those to the ULV fleet, and so far things are going quite well. Calibration for those units is spot on, actually more precise than we had with the gasoline powered engines. So not only are they, you know, not using fuel, and so they're more efficient, but they're also more targeted and accurate. Calibrating them is easier to do also than on the other units, and so it's easier on our maintenance staff. So they have some very, very positive things to say about the units themselves. The drivers, I mean, it's a very simple conversion going from the system that they had. It's literally the same amount of buttons that they have in the truck to manipulate the units themselves for the drivers. And so moving them from paper and pen maps to these newer units with the smart flow technologies and the tablets has really been an improvement for us in operational efficiency, but then also just better data as well. And so I think it's a really positive move.
I'm assuming that the battery-powered units are a lot quieter than the gasoline ones.
They are significantly quieter, yes. You do not hear them coming down the street like we formerly did with the gas-powered engines. We did some very targeted messaging trying to get the information out there before we started using them operationally. But it is still an adjustment. People, we do get calls, residents saying that, you know, they didn't hear the truck, even though, you know, we know it went down that street, we know the spray was on, etc. And so we tried to address that in the messaging that we put out, both on social media as well as our website. We do have, we talked about it in this forum at our board meetings numerous times over the last several months that we've been heading this direction. We're also, you know, trying to get information out at events that we attend. And so we're trying to get that message out there that, yes, they are very quiet, so you will not hear them coming down the road, but that doesn't mean they're not working and they're not effective. And so just trying to get ahead of it a little bit on the messaging side, but we do still get calls related to that effect, yes.
Well, since 1950s, we probably have had gasoline and stuff going up and down county streets, and so all of a sudden, that's not there, and the first thing that somebody's going to think of is, well, it's not on. So that brings me to my next question. It's sort of not all regarding budget, but where are we at with the notification system?
So I was going to update that during my director's report, but we can skip ahead. We are very close. We're doing an internal test of the system now. As the last week or so, we've been doing control applications. We've had, just our staff have signed up to receive the notifications in our test group. And so we're just making some final tweaks. Once we are happy with the messaging that we've prepared, we've already put out some preliminary messaging on social media as well as our website about the notification that it is coming. We're also informing residents as they're calling in with service requests and emailing in with service requests. So we're trying to lay the foundation for that now. And then once we are finalized with the instructional messaging material on how residents can actually sign up for this system, then we will be rolling it out. So I mean, we're days away. Potentially by the end of this week or into early next week, we'll be ready to go. Really, it's the instructional messaging that we're working on now.
Okay, thank you.
And so as a reminder, that's the notification residents can voluntarily sign up for to receive either text, email, or a voice recorded message stating that there will be a treatment in their area tonight. Again, it's all voluntary. Residents will have the ability to sign up for it and opt in or out at any time. It's another way for us to, again, increase transparency in what we're doing operationally and get that message, get that information out to the residents.
Okay, so let's move on to budget items 50 and above. I don't know if anybody represents Ariel in the room, but it must be a good reason. Why are we considering going to LED landing lights? No?
They are brighter and clearer. It would be an upgrade to what we have currently for our landing lights.
And isn't that part of rehabbing the existing facility?
No, this is actually on the aircraft themselves, not the facility.
Say that again, sorry. I didn't hear.
Oh, that's
This-
a different thing. So
this would
this is on the helicopters, not on the landing
Correct.
pad. I see.
Correct.
Okay, now that makes more sense to me. So no matter where they are, they get upgraded lighting.
It would be an upgrade, yes, that's correct.
Okay.
Not to the facility.
Thanks for asking that question, Commissioner Cox. Okay, now, I have a question. This might be a Jose question, but each year as we get the guesstimate of what the projections are for taxation for the county, that number is always going to move. What happens when it moves downwards? I guess we get less than what's allocated, is that the case? And what happens when it moves upwards?
We get charged more.
Okay. All righty, so each year that number comes in above or below what we project?
Correct.
Okay. I mean, we may not know, but we any idea why this thing's fluctuating so much right now? Not ours, but.
The total taxable value from the property appraiser's office?
Yeah.
It's not unusual. I mean, we saw it last year as well, when the initial estimate comes out, it's not the official, that's what's the appraisal. So July 1st is when they are to publish the official number. So that anything there, that's just an estimate, an early estimate.
Okay. So July 1st until the trend notices come out in August, will they stick with this number July 1st or will it continue to move?
I don't anticipate that it should move now, but that I'm not certain of.
Okay. Commissioner Cox, have you seen it in the past? Does it move in the July timeframe through August? The projections?
Oh, yeah, every year it does. I mean, typically the estimate that the property appraiser provides is normally a conservative estimate, but it's not uncommon for the final roll to be less than what they initially estimate. It's still a 5% increase over last year. So, I think Pasco County got spoiled when we were seeing 10 and 15% increases year over year. So, it's a reflection that we're probably coming up to a little bit of a soft spot in the economy. I don't believe that it's a long-term issue in the economy. I think that the economy is getting back to a normal growth rate, which, quite frankly, I think that's healthy in the economy. A couple things that I would like to suggest is our investment account. So, we originally started that investment account shortly after I came on the board, and since we've had that account, it has earned over $906,000 in interest. And we have, in the past, just allowed that interest to reinvest into that account, you know. Since we are not building a new campus, it would make sense to me that we redirect that interest back to our operating funds and use it in the annual budget, you know, and therefore allowing us to lower our current tax rate. So, you know, last month alone, it earned $44,856. So that's one suggestion I would like to make. I would also, in the spirit of trying to cut the interest rate, or excuse me, the millage rate, for the record, I won't support anything other than the rollback rate or lower. I would like to encourage us to see if we can lower the millage rate again. We'll see if that's possible. You know, it's a little bit hard to know if we can do that because you know, we don't have an estimate on what it will cost to do some upgrades to our existing facility. You know, hopefully we can accomplish that for less than we have in the investment account, and therefore at some point we can utilize those funds. But you know, certainly I would like to see us use the interest that we're earning every month to go into the budget and help offset the millage rate. The other thing is, as far as personnel, you know, I made a statement last meeting about the request for a records request specialist, and I'm not going to support that. So I would ask that position be struck. And then, Edwin, could you possibly share the screen so we can see the little better what's on the projector?
So the board is aware the rollback rate for the 25-26 fiscal year is 0.2128, which from the further reduction we've already seen to the draft budget related to the total taxable value, that would be an additional $653,408.99.
Say that again, Adrian, please.
The rollback rate is 0.2128, which in addition to the reduction that you already see reflected in the draft, from the total taxable value reduction, that would be an additional $653,408.99 reduction in the budget to achieve that rollback rate at 0.2128. And I do want to just caution the board, if I may, that a further reduction beyond that $653,000 to achieve the rollback rate, I think that would make an impact both in the short and long term and have significance. And I think that you know, that's a substantial revenue loss to absorb in a single year, given you know, our two largest contributing factors to our budget are the most essential pieces of what we do, personnel and chemicals. Both of these costs continue to rise every year, and we're already seeing the effects of inflation and supply chain pressures in chemicals especially. If we reduce rillage to something beyond that, I just want to caution you that we need to look at the sustainability of that over time, because we do not know what as you already stated, Commissioner Cox, we don't have an estimate yet for rebuilding this campus here in Odessa. So I would caution you to not look too far beyond that at this point, because sustainability wise, I don't want you to just look at this fiscal year, but we also have to look long-term. So I just want you to consider what will allow us to sustain high-quality mosquito control operations while also responsibly planning for continued cost increases, especially chemical costs. We just need to make sure we're not undercutting our ability to meet our mission and provide public health protection effectively.
I don't disagree with your comments on the making sure that we don't impact the mission. You know, last month the investment account earned, as I stated earlier, $44,856. If we conservatively say that it's going to earn us on average over the next year $40,000 a month, that's $480,000 right there. So that's revenue coming back in to the budget that you know, prior to this we were saving for the new campus, which is not going to happen. So therefore, it just makes sense to me to use that income stream in the budget. You know, by deleting the records request specialist, that's another $38,000. You know, I look at, I'll probably make this comment every year, but we have $500,000 for contingencies that historically the district's never utilized. So I think that reducing that line item is fine as well. You know, again, if we had some sort of catastrophic event, we do have money sitting in the investment account for that. So, you know, that there's over your $600,000 right now. I believe that what we need to do is to advertise in the trim notice the rollback rate, which is, as you know, the cap of what we can adopt as a final millage. We can lower from there, but I see no reason why we can't set the rollback rate as are proposed at this point.
Now, just so I understand on the moving the investments interest into the operating account, as the year goes on, that will become less and less each month, correct? Because we're going to use some of that we will use a lot of that for refurbishment, correct? Commissioner Cox.
I don't think he can hear you.
Oh.
The mic's right there.
So yes, I mean, as soon as we begin working on that project, we will be using some of those funds to cover that, yes.
Right. So over the months, it will start out at 40-some thousand and drop 30s, 20s, so on as the year goes on, fiscal year goes on.
Depending on how much money is used from it, yes. The unknown is the time that it's going to take to get to the point where we actually start drawing down those funds.
Right.
And because we're so early in the process, you know, it will be at least a couple of months until we even get an architect firm on board and start working, and then, you know, whatever happens from there. And so, yes, once we start drawing down that money, it will reduce the amount of interest earned because that's what's in the account, yes.
Okay. So, my understanding.
That's the reason that I only used the $40,000 number.
Okay, good, you're back with us, thank you. I think our audio's switching in and out on you.
Spoken to his good ear.
Okay. Okay, so is it today in preparation for the trim notice, we need to come up with some number at this point?
We don't have to have the millage rate set or for the preliminary budget hearing until we have to notice for that budget hearing, which will be at the beginning of September. So we don't have to set it now, no, but if that is what the board direction is going to be, I'd like to know that now so that we can start making any additional adjustments that are required to the budget for next month's draft.
Okay.
So if you could come to at least a preliminary agreement as to what you want to do with the millage today, that would be helpful for me and staff to make necessary adjustments.
Okay, so I entertain a motion from either one of the commissioners on that subject around setting a preliminary millage rate projection.
I don't know if he heard you.
Oh, I'll move that we set the preliminary millage rate at the rollback rate, and if I heard it correctly, it's 0.2128.
You're right on.
Yep. I'll second that.
All in favor?
Is that correct, what I stated there, Adrian?
That is correct, yes.
Yes.
Okay, motion's on the table. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. And then we can refine it further as the months go on. Very good. I did, before we leave the budget area, talking about this year, I saw some reference in here about the state grant that came through. Have we only received a portion of that at this point?
For this current fiscal year?
This fiscal year.
So what you saw in the, are you referencing the amendment from last month?
I believe so. I thought it was a couple $100,000 off, or it's still due. Did all of it come through?
As of today, yes.
As when?
As of today,
Oh, today.
well, no, it came in a couple weeks ago, the last check for 172,000.
Okay.
I believe that was for the June, didn't we present that at the June meeting?
Anyway, so that was a reimbursement process, correct?
Correct.
So everything's been purchased and is in operation and reimbursement happened?
Correct.
Okay, good. Very good.
Yeah, the
That's all, yes.
variance in the number, I think, is what you're referencing. That was the remainder of what, because it was reimbursement based.
Yeah.
Some of the items we purchased several months ago and already received the reimbursement. This was the remainder of that.
Okay. Okay. Very good.
Other questions or direction on the budget?
Not this time.
No, we'll just look for you and anybody's input on any other thing that we can adjust.
Okay.
And it doesn't all have to be negative. There might be areas that we missed. Such as the lighting on the aircraft. I would have missed that had we not talked about it. So. Okay. So we're wrapped up on unfinished business. And Adrian, Director's report, it's all yours, the floor.
All right, on the surplus property, listing and marketing update for you all. Following the board's direction last month, I finalized and executed the exclusive rights to sale listing agreement with Dewey Mitchell's Berkshire Hathaway Group. I'm also pleased to report that as of earlier this week, the listing has officially gone live. I think you can go to the next slide, please. Thank you, Evan. This is uploaded onto the MLS. There's a targeted constant contact email that's been sent out to 439 builders, developers, and investors. Draft versions of a flyer and brochure have been created, and we are working on enhancements to those documents for dissemination and marketing. We've also had outreach underway, plans to post the listing to over 60 commercial real estate platforms. Team has also re-engaged some of the previously interested parties to inform them of its availability. Importantly, we've already held, I think Commissioner Cox already referenced it at the beginning of the meeting. Initial meeting with a potential buyer. We do have a follow-up meeting scheduled for earlier August. So we do have some active progress and continued interest in this sale, this surplus property. The marketing materials are still being finalized, but this is a meaningful step forward in demonstrating our commitment to divesting from the surplus land and following through on the board's decision to abandon the relocation project. These efforts reflect our responsiveness to the public, accountability to our legislative leadership, and dedication to using the district's resources responsibly and as the board said they were going to do. So great news that we have this active. We're fully engaged in the process, so let's get it sold. We do want to inform you that, talking a little bit more social media wise, we'll be putting something up on the website potentially as early as the next couple of days. We'll be sharing that through social media for additional exposure as well. Questions on any of that?
Nope.
Okay.
Great to hear.
Professional services for rebuilding our Odessa campus. As you all will recall, as we're moving forward in rebuilding our existing campus here using the funds that we currently have on hand, we will need to issue a new solicitation for the owner's rep services. This was raised at our last meeting, and so the original procurement was tied to the now abandoned relocation project, and so we do have to resolicit that. We've had a very positive experience working with our owner's rep over the last few years. It's been proven to be quite valuable use of district funds with their expertise and guidance. The owner's rep has really provided critical support throughout the planning and pre-construction phases of the former project, and helping us navigate very complex decisions that are not really in any one of our wheelhouses. And so it's really been helpful to have that presence and that service on board. And they were really a key asset. And while we're making this shift into the new phase of where we're headed, I think that it's definitely something that the board should consider, to have owner's representation as an independent oversight to ensure that our rebuild of this campus stays on track, schedule, within budget, aligned with our operational needs. Again, these are things that the owner's rep can do on our behalf. So it's just been really helpful in having them as an owner's rep as an advocate in helping to work, utilizing their expertise in helping us navigate some unfamiliar waters. So if it is the pleasure of the board to consider having an owner's rep on our rebuild project, that I would like for some guidance on moving that forward. We would have to put out a new solicitation for this. Our attorney, Laura's still on the line. Yes. So do you have any further guidance on that, Ms. Donaldson, that you would like to? I'm sorry.
No, my only thing would be is what we'd be doing is similar to what we just did with the architect, but it would be for the owner's advisor. And I would just ask, I'm at a conference, so I don't have the procurement policy for the district, but that we, if approved, we are given some flexibility to shorten the solicitation period. I just don't know specifically what the policy says right now, so that we can move this project along to get them involved, because then the executive director, Rogers, will talk about the second piece of this, which is the CCNA for the architect engineer. And we would just, so there's another piece of this, which is why I would recommend that the approval is that if there is some policies state that it has to be open for a month, that we have some flexibility to make it less. If the procurement policy speaks to it, it may not, so that we can try to get this going forward. And it would be related to making improvements on the existing campus. I will say I will not use the term rebuild because it will be making improvements on the existing campus.
So I have a question. How long was the RFP out for the architect?
I think we had it open for, I can pull it up. I think for some reason we had it open for 30 days.
I can try to pull it.
I can pull up the procurement, sorry. I'm working on so many procurements, it's hard for me to know because everyone does it differently. So the Florida statute requires procurements to be open for a certain amount of time for construction projects, but it is silent as it relates to CCNA type projects.
I would just like to see us be consistent. If we did 30 days prior, I think that we need to do 30 days for this. You know, I'm hoping, quite frankly, that we get a lot of interest in the owner's rep. You know, I will tell you, and you probably all remember that I don't know that I was overly supportive of the owner's rep prior, but I think that they have been an asset to the district in the light of the fact that we just don't have any on-staff expertise to help us. But I will say that from a budgetary standpoint, that we should try to target no more than about $5,000 a month for an owner's rep. So, you know, I know it's correct me if I'm wrong on this, Laura, but it would be since it's more of an RFQ than an RFP, so the negotiation as far as cost does not come into factor in this election.
Correct, yeah, because we have to, this is, the law requires any solicitation unless it's less than $35,000 in total cost to go through a process, and we cannot consider costs until after we do the ranking. And then at that point, we're only allowed to talk to the top ranked company, and if we can't reach an agreement, then we can no longer, we basically make a decision, we're done negotiating. We no longer can talk to the first ranked company, we go to number 2, and you go through that process. It's, there's a reason on why you shouldn't base your first decision on cost, because then you could get bridges. I know you guys don't build bridges, but the theory is you could end up choosing the cheapest bid or the cheapest architect to design a bridge, and it may not be the best architect. But the statute hamstrings the district in getting the best price, because once you do the ranking, you effectively can't have the firms compete against themselves, because if you terminate negotiations with the top ranked firm and you go to the second ranked firm and their prices are higher, you can't go back to the top ranked firm. And so it's an unfortunate process that we have to follow in statute.
Right. So, but there's, please correct me if I'm wrong, but it's very common practice for government to budget what they feel that they want to spend for that service. I mean, they could ultimately decide, and we see this quite often, it's like, hey, we're not going to build that project because it exceeds the budget that we have put to do that. You know, that's why I'm saying that, and we didn't do that prior, if I remember correctly. We didn't set out there that, you know, we plan on spending X number of dollars per month on an owner's rep. We just negotiated and accepted it. And our current arrangement was higher than it is today because, you know, we pushed pretty hard for them to lower their fees as we were, you know, trying to figure out how we were going to move forward. So by putting a budget number out there, I think it says that, you know, this is what we'd like to spend. Is that correct?
Yeah, I would definitely not want to include it within the procurement document, because I could see someone saying we've effectively are including costs within the consideration because we're eliminating it, but I don't think that there's an issue with you have a budget item and the district knows kind of how to negotiate with the consultant, because at the end of the day, and it's no different than my fees effectively, right? The district gets to control my fees by whether or not you pull me into something or not pull me into something. And so it would be the same thing. So yeah, we can work on that and, excuse me, and just kind of through the process say that, you know, the expectation is X. We just can't ask them if that's going to be okay, because ultimately, you know, it will go to the board, and if the board doesn't like what the scope of work and the fee schedule is, they can say, no, I will tell you, I have a couple fire stations being built right now, and we have in our exhibit the fee schedule, and then we have a maximum amount related to it. And it's not a percent of what the estimated cost is, but we figure out what we think is going to be the cost, and that's it. And ultimately, it could be, if something goes crazy, it could be changed, but that's a board decision, and it would have to go back. So we do have some flexibility with that, Commissioner Cox.
Okay, so I definitely would like to see us, at a bare minimum, create a budgetary line item for that item. And that pretty much broadcast where we're thinking that the services should be. Because right now it's just lumped into a bigger pot.
Right.
Okay. What do we need to do to get that underway?
So I think what we need to do, if we could just get the board to, we don't need to have a vote, but if we could just get direction that the executive director, that we can move forward with doing a solicitation for an owner's advisor related to the existing campus. I think that would be the first step.
Okay.
And
I'll actually move that motion.
okay, and Commissioner Cox, just because I pulled up the procurement, we posted the solicitation on March 23rd, and the response due was May 13th. So it was
53 days.
6 weeks. And that's in part because we did do a site tour,
2 site tours.
and a not optional one. But so it looks like, I'm not a mathematician, but yeah, about 6 weeks,
53 days.
maybe 5.
That's probably a little longer. I mean, if 30 days is the norm, I think we need to just stick with what the norm is.
Okay. So then we will.
I'm only one voice here, so whatever the other commissioners feel is fine. But I just want us to be consistent. I don't think that we need to do abbreviated RFQ process.
Okay, I'm in agreement with 30 days. How about you, Randy?
Okay. But is the board okay with 30 days?
Well, we'll put it to a vote. All in favor of 30 days, raise their hands. Aye? Aye? Unanimous. Thank you.
And I'd also like to say, associated with this, although I think it will occur after, at some point we will need to terminate the agreement with the owner's rep related to the new campus. I'd like to do it after we get direction, after we terminate the spring engineering or the spring contract for the new campus, just because there could be some outstanding invoices that we would need the owner's rep to look at.
Sounds logical to me.
Okay.
Did we talk about the
And then just for the board to know, once we get the owner's advisor on, we will then, well, I guess, Adrian, I'm jumping ahead. Do you want to talk about the termination of the RFP, or do you want me to?
That's where I was going anyway, so you can continue with that line of thinking.
I don't know, Commissioner Cox, can you hear them? I can't hear them at all.
No, there's a lag from when we stop talking to when they do, we hear them.
That is where I was going to be going next, Ms. Donaldson, so if you would like to continue your line of thinking, that would be appropriate.
Okay, great, thank you.
Thank you.
So, as you all know, an issue was raised at the last board meeting related to the owner's advisor and its their participation as it relates to the selection and the ranking of the architect for the actual design and involvement with the renovation of the existing campus. Because of the issues raised, my legal recommendation is that we terminate that solicitation. And what that means is we would post a termination on the website that would end the procurement related to an architect engineer for the renovation. Once we get an owner's rep on board, at that point, my recommendation is we would be then going out for the solicitation for the architect. So we've got an extra step that we've got to do. So that's kind of the thought process, but we need to terminate the existing procurement.
So there's gonna be an overlap between the build out or the owner's rep from the 41 acre parcel, and then the new one here, we're gonna be paying two owners reps at the same time, or? Because she was saying, Laura was saying that there's gonna be some residual lag accounting or budgetary issues that the old owner's rep would be taking care of, and then we're bringing on a new one. Is that not correct?
Go ahead, Laura.
I can, so from a timing standpoint, it should be that the 41, the new campus, all activities related to the new campus would be done as we're going through this procurement process for the owner's rep. You may have a 1 month overlap, but they'd be working on different things. Legally, we've got to separate it. And so, but the hope would be we deal with it just completely finalizing everything, terminating related to the new campus while we are gearing up to have everything in place to start with the existing campus renovation. So there could be a 1 or 2 month lag, but the existing contract with Spring does provide that any invoices for outstanding work from the date that they were told to stop working is due. I don't know if those invoices have been sent or not. I do know that notice was given to them several months ago to no more working on it, but I just don't know the status of those invoices. If there's no invoices outstanding, there would definitely not be an overlap of owners advisors.
Okay.
There are currently no invoices outstanding with any work related to Spring Engineering.
Yeah, I know I brought this up. I'm sorry to have been a stick in the mud here on this, but I really wanted us to make sure that we did this appropriately and consistently. So sorry that I was correct, but I just want us to do it correctly, do it right.
Commissioner, trust me, if we could amend both contracts, then that obviously would have been the fastest and most efficient way. CCNA process is not efficient, but unfortunately, I don't believe that we can do that under the statute.
Could we terminate?
I understand. I accept that. That's fine. That's good legal advice. Thank you.
Could we terminate those 2 contracts in the next 3 weeks? Laura?
You need to speak in the mic. I don't think she can hear you.
You keep turning away from the mic.
Yeah, Laura, could we terminate both of those contracts in the next 3 weeks?
Yes,
Okay.
we could, but I would suggest that the termination of the owner's advisor contract occurs once we know there are no invoices that need to be reviewed, because that's part of their job. They're reviewing the invoices to make sure that they're appropriate.
So we would start with,
You
But I
know, in
also have
essence,
to look to see what the notice requirements are, just for the board to know, and I have to look at the, owner's advisor contract. But the spring, like, they have noticing requirements, so we just gotta follow the noticing requirements. I believe the spring contract has, the district has to pay money to spring for terminating beyond just the fees. I just have gotta go through I gotta go through both contracts. I was not involved with those contracts, so that's why I just need to go through them.
Okay.
I think that, notice was given. I mean, Adrian made it very clear in an email that she sent out that it was stopping.
Right. I just need to make sure that invoices have been sent and paid. And then if the district owes any funds, then I need to identify that as well.
Okay, all right, so we'll get a report back from you through Adrian.
well, if the board wants us to move that direction, then you can give us the directive to terminate the spring contract. If there's any further invoicing, make sure that we have our owner's rep review it. Once we pay all of that, then we can terminate the owner's rep contract and then move forward with the solicitation for new services.
Sounds like a plan.
Can I just make a caveat to that? I would prefer, well, I mean, it depends on how quickly I get you the documents, but I would prefer that we do start the noticing, get the procurement process going as it relates to the owner's advisor, so we don't have an additional delay. Because I mean, it takes, right, if we gotta get the documents together, we notice it for 30 days, there's an evaluation period, it goes to the, interviews, potentially it goes to the board. That's a several month-long process.
Yeah, I think we can chew gum and walk here at the same time.
I mean, I don't think I can do that in real life, but I think I can do that legally. Thank you.
Okay, all right.
So that is my directive, okay.
All right,
got
what
it.
do we have
Thank
next?
you. All right, okay, you can advance the slide for me, Edwin. Although it's only been 3 weeks from our last board meeting, because of the timeline and how we scheduled them for this meeting, operations are in full swing. We've been experiencing our typical summer rainfall patterns, as you all are well aware, and so we have seen an increase in mosquito populations as expected as a result of that, and our teams have been very actively responding with both ground and aerial control activities. The seasonal uptake that we're experiencing currently is consistent with what we see this time of year in July, and our crews are fully deployed across the county. I just wanted to highlight this. This is our friends over to the north, Citrus County Mosquito Control District. I thought this was really clever, their skeeter meter. So it just shows it's right on track to what we're experiencing as well, and the above normal mosquito activity is consistent with what we typically see in July because of our rains. So here we are. Oh, can we not have that feedback? Thank you. We have seen an increase in our service requests recently due to people being outside for the holiday, of course, and then obviously the increased rain. But again, this is normal for this time of year, and we are fully responding in our comprehensive integrated control strategy. And so We do have some highlights from the residents in terms of our responsiveness of our technicians out in the field that I will share with you here in just a few moments. But we are fully deployed and doing what we need to be doing this time of year as things have been ticking up. Resident notification system, we already touched on that. I think there's a slide on that as well. So again, just recapping what I said earlier, this is sort of in the final internal testing phase just to make sure we've gotten the message exactly the way we want it. And we are wrapping up, finalizing our messaging for this, and then we will be ready to deploy this system. So, you know, we are very excited to be rolling this out as we're remaining focused on increasing transparency and public trust in what we're doing. Tools like this resident notification system, I think, will be a really big part of a broader commitment to keeping the public informed about our activities, especially during high mosquito activity periods like what we are seeing now for our summer months.
Can I interrupt real quick? What is this costing? Do you have just a spitball idea? Roughly?
Yes, the monthly subscription for the number of callers that we can have for the system is, help me out here, guys. I can get the exact figure, but I want to say it was somewhere in the $5,000 range. I'm sorry?
I think it's annual.
And yes, and that's an annual subscription cost. And that gives us how many residents numbers that we can put into the system?
10,000.
It's a pretty.
How much?
10,000 numbers that we can have in the system. So the thought was, we'll roll it out, see how much interest we have in it, see how many people we actually get signed up, and then we can adjust from there.
Okay.
Very easily for us to scale up if we need to, but we really have no idea how many people are going to sign up for this system, and so we won't know that until we roll it out.
Okay.
I can get you the exact
No,
cost if you.
no.
Okay.
I just, 5K is fine with me.
And we have received comments to this effect. We've had people specifically request, is there a way that we can get notified? And so I think this is going to really be really good addition to what we're already doing.
This, and if we were to do, like I said, a QR code on the side of the trucks to get more awareness and go to that system, I bet they'd like it.
So we are certainly also working on additional messaging tools, not just for the notification system, but always bringing it back to the website where we have the notification system sign up, the area to put in for service requests, to see our treatment map of scheduled, what we're planned for that evening, weather permitting, for our treatments. We also will be working on a survey coming up. So all of these things, yes, additional ways to disseminate that information is certainly part of the conversation as well.
Good.
Okay, next slide, please. Pasco One Health Alliance, as you all know, Chairman Abbott already mentioned this at the very beginning of our meeting, but we were the founding organization to bring the Pasco One Health Alliance to light here in Pasco County, and so we're very excited about this. We just held our third quarter meeting with this group, and we are getting new members every meeting, which really underscores the impact that and the value that our community is seeing in this. And so this is the intersection of human, animal, and environmental health, and all agencies, businesses that are somehow connected to that. So getting everybody working together, trying to improve overall health outcomes for Pasco County residents. And so last week we just held our meeting, and it was hosted by HCA Florida Trinity Hospital. So we're very happy to have them graciously host us for our meeting. And the presentation that the hospital delivered was their leadership highlighting what the hospital does in terms of emergency preparedness protocols, infectious disease prevention strategies, interagency coordination throughout the healthcare throughout events. So if someone shows up at one of their facilities presenting symptoms, this is how they respond. So it was very insightful, and we were able to see what they do from their perspective. Following the presentation, Pasco and Health Alliance members participated in more discussion that was focused on strengthening our countywide response to infectious disease outbreaks and improving real-time communication across sectors, sharing valuable insights into data sharing needs, response gaps, communications issues, ways for us to build stronger public-private partnerships and really improve upon what we're doing collectively. The energy in the room was very strong reflection of the Alliance's core mission and leveraging those the cross-sector expertise from everyone that participates to protect public, human, animal, and environmental health. And so we, again, just appreciate HCA Florida Trinity Hospital for their leadership in hosting this quarter's meeting, and we look forward to continued momentum in this group, and we're going to be formalizing some strategic leadership priorities for the upcoming year. So that's a very exciting step forward. Our next meeting will be held in October, so looking forward to that. Next slide, please. Monthly recognition report. As you all know, I'd like to just use this as an opportunity to highlight some of the positive feedback that we've received in the last few weeks. What you see on the screen here are directly from residents out in the field, and then we also have some highlights internally for staff that I will read off. John Brookfield was highlighted this month for his ingenuity and hard work in fabricating the auto-loading system and troubleshooting to keep their equipment operational and continuously making improvements to our equipment. So great job there for John in the shop. Ms. Karen Mojica was recognized by staff for her outstanding performance in her role in educating the community to spread mosquito control awareness and mosquito prevention and managing special events, often serving as the sole representative at some of these functions in providing mosquito control awareness and education. But beyond that, also for her efforts outside of education, Karen's always willing to lend a hand across any department, from assisting with entomological surveillance or supporting admin staff. Her positive attitude and reliability make her a true all-star and invaluable member of the PCMCD team. So a special shout out to Ms. Karen. Then we also had some recognition from staff for Mike Semide, recognized by a teammate for his great communication and always seeking out ways to provide assistance to fellow larviciders, trying to be proactive and help increase productivity. Another larvicider, Shannon Thomas, was recognized by a teammate for his, and I quote, true quiet professionalism, and as the mostly unseen and unheard mosquito technician holding down the eastern zones through a lot of uncertainty and change occurring in that area. And he's commended for his unmatched understanding of the terrain, features, and mosquito sources, going above and beyond to safeguard the public, even when the area has been short-staffed in the past. So great job, Shannon. Spencer Young was recognized for his initiative and how professionally and intelligently he speaks with residents in the field, and also his positive attitude and always offering assistance to others. We also have Walter Mikowski was highlighted by staff for his tremendous hard work, constantly going above and beyond his assigned roles and thinking of ways to improve our workflow. His diligence in the accuracy of application records and attention to safety and detail make him stand out among his peers. And whenever an additional set of hands are needed, Walter is there, and he's a true asset and pleasure to work with. Great job, Walter. And Ms. Taylor was recognized again this month for a few things, and not just the education. She now brings the entire staff in our weekly meetings, but also videos created for public content. But most importantly, the dedicated time she spends in mentoring others. She provides clear guidance and patience, and it's her passion for entomology combined with her willingness to teach and support others that makes her a valuable asset to this team. So thank you for allowing me a moment to share some of those highlights, staff recognizing each other, as well as some of the positive feedback that we're receiving from residents.
Very good. Good stuff.
And that is all I have for our director's report. Thank you.
Okay. Next up, we have the bubbly Polynesian Maria Johnson.
Commissioner.
Oh, well, we
All
do
right.
change colors in the summertime. We love the beach, we know that.
I know. All right, so, good morning, Commissioners and Director. It's still the morning, so good morning to all of you. Just a reminder that the Pasco County Mosquito Control District Outreach Department is responsible for educating the public, engaging with the Pasco community, and promoting mosquito prevention efforts. We help increase awareness and encourage participation in mosquito control measures. So here in July, we've been very busy, myself and Karen, with 10 camp programs. On June 21st, we partnered with the Department of Health for the Moon Lake Health Fair. And then on June 28th, we were at the Pasco County Library System Family Day. Then, as Director Rogers reported on July 11th, which was last Friday, we had our third quarter Pasco One Health Alliance meeting, and it included many representatives that has to do with anything to do with what she shared on human, animal, and environmental health. And so the momentum is growing, and so that's super exciting. Our next meeting for our fourth quarter will be on Friday, October 10th, and that will be hosted by Pasco County Department of Emergency Management. On July 12th, we were at Premier Community Healthcare for the Back to School event. Yesterday, July 14th, Karen presented at the Archwell Healthcare. And I, yesterday myself, presented at Pasco Emergency Management at the Empower Young Women in Public Safety, which were about 25 students there that I spoke to. And then, of course, various networking meetings and connecting with the Pasco residents. Upcoming, we have a tour tomorrow, July 16th. So if you would like to tour, or anybody, any of our residents are welcome to come. They can arrive around 7:45, and then the program and guided tour is from 8 to 9:30. And then on July 22nd, we have a blood drive here at Pasco County Mosquito Control District from 10 to 12. And last but not least, we were featured with other mosquito controls in a Tampa Bay Times article named "Mosquitoes Are Thriving in Tampa Bay Inside the Effort to Stave Them Off," which was published on July 9th.
Stole my thunder.
There you go. That was it right there. So, all right, I'll let you keep your thunder there, sir. All right, and that is it for our outreach department.
Thank you. I have a safety report.
I obviously am not Mr. McFall.
You're not.
But we do not have any safety issues to report from the last 3 weeks. We continue our weekly training of staff, and that is all that I have for safety.
Good. Agman, you have a report on disease.
So for West Nile virus in Florida this year so far, the updated numbers are 4 asymptomatic blood donors, 1 horse, and 30 sentinel chickens. For Pasco County, we still have just the 1 sentinel chicken from back in January.
Speak up a little bit.
Oh, sorry about that. Eastern equine encephalitis virus, Florida-wide, 5 horses, 2 emus, 23 sentinel chickens, none so far in Pasco County this year. Dengue travel-related, there have been 105 cases Florida-wide and 1 case in Pasco County. For locally acquired dengue, there have been 3 cases in Florida thus far and 0 in Pasco County this year. Chikungunya virus travel-related, 4 cases in Florida, none in Pasco. And malaria travel-related, 21 cases in Florida, 0 cases reported for Pasco. Brevard and St. Johns counties are under mosquito-borne illness advisories, and Escambia and Miami-Dade counties are under mosquito-borne illness alerts. And Pasco is currently responding to 4 Department of Health ARBO cases, 2 suspect travel dengue cases, and 2 suspect local dengue cases. And that's it for the ARBO report.
Thank you. Randy, you have something?
Oh, I had something.
Okay. You
No,
can still
I
act
just
like
think
it's
this
yours.
is good, and then Adrian Rogers was named in here as well, so I just wanted to say congratulations. You're putting the word out. And I think this dengue fever thing is very concerning. I think it went up, what? It tripled in the last 5 years, I think I read, so.
There has been a significant increase.
Yeah, that's very concerning. I just don't, I'm glad that we had, what, one sentinel chicken that had dengue?
We had one
Or
travel-related
travel,
case so
that's
far
right.
this year.
I just, especially after Puerto Rico, I don't want us to be known for, dengue or Zika or anything. So you guys are doing a great job. Keep up the good work. I hear the helicopters going around. I see them, and I think you guys are knocking it out of the park. It's very good. And Pasco One Health Alliance that you initiated, I think that's really good. I like hearing that.
All right, Commissioner Cox, you got anything? Addition?
God knows I've spoken up today. I'll shut up. Thank you very much.
All right, you know how to get a smile out of us, don't you? All righty, I have nothing more.
No.
Regular board meeting's coming up, August 19th. And then September 4th will be our first budget hearing at 5:01 PM. September the 18th will be the regular board meeting at 3:30, and then the final budget hearing at 5:01 PM. And, any last minute events you want to throw out there? You've got you mentioned already, Maria, tomorrow morning you have a tour.
Yes.
Anything else in the next few weeks that you want to throw out there?
I think I've already mentioned my upcoming Bloodmobile, and there might be something else coming in, but we'll report that at the next board meeting.
Okay.
Or you can always see our calendar on our website.
Okay. All righty. Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
All in favor? Aye. Motion being adjourned.